Stephen A., you frequent LA quite a bit. We'll be there.
I wish.
We're going to be there next week.
Yeah, I will.
What are you talking about?
Fake me.
True.
Oh, my goodness.
I got you.
Is the Lakers scrutiny fair?
I think it's fair. Listen, they looked really, really good last night. It helped that Jaylen Brown wasn't playing for Boston. I can tell you that much. If Jaylen Brown was playing alongside Jason Tatum, I think it would have been potentially a different outcome. At the very least, it would have been a closer game. But when you look at the Los Angeles Lakers right now, we have to take something into account. Not only were they struggling to get above 500, they had a relatively weak schedule. The meat of their schedule in terms of the tougher games are what's to come. That's not how the season started off. This is a team that lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder twice. Mm-hmm. Oklahoma City Thunder has a 73-point loss on their resume this season. 73 points, okay? We know they're not very good, but in the end, that's what's going on here. And then when you look at the Western Conference, let's also take this into account. The Memphis Grizzlies have a better record. John Moran has missed a few games. The Los Angeles Clippers have an identical record. There's been no Kawhi Leonard. Dallas Mavericks are only a game and a half or a game or so behind, okay? The Denver Nuggets don't have Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr. They're only a game behind. The Minnesota Timberwolves, with Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards, they're only a game and a half behind. And Portland's got a new coach. You got Damian Lillard out with abdominal injuries. You got C.J. McCollum out with a right collapsed lung. My brother wishing you nothing but the best speedy recovery. Yeah. Prayers out to you, C.J. McCollum. Good brother. President of the NBA Players Association, by the way, as well. We wish him nothing but the best. Class personified. They're only a couple of games behind. What are these people doing in your vicinity when you have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook? And I know LeBron.
Tell the whole story.
And I know
LeBron missed 11 games.
I know LeBron missed a few games. Okay, but we got Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook up in there. Okay, Carmelo Anthony, who, by the way, has been playing well. He's their best three-point shooter this season thus far, doing an incredible job coming off the bench. Malik Monk has been making shots, okay? We got to look at it and say, what the hell is going on? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. You got the 29th ranked defense in the NBA. You can't defend the pick and roll to save your life. That's what's going on with the Los Angeles Lakers, just to name a few other things. And in the end, Charles Barkley, Shaq, all of them right on point with some of the things that they're saying. Not throwing any shade on what they're saying. But let's not act like Frank Vogel is being victimized here by pointing out what he isn't doing. You don't play. Your job is to have these brothers ready. And the one thing we did not anticipate having to concern ourselves with when it came to Frank Vogel was defense. Now, if they struggling offensively, but defensively they're one of the top teams in the NBA, nothing to be concerned about, because that LeBron will fix that, and Frank Vogel knows what he's doing defensively. But when you Frank Vogel and you got the 29th ranked defense in the NBA, and considering your reputation, well, what the hell are you doing then? Because that's why you're a head coach, because of what you know how to do defensively. That's like Tom Thibodeau and the New York Knicks. If the New York Knicks were the 29th ranked defense, we'd be saying, Tom Thibodeau, why the hell do you have the job? Because that's your signature. That's what you're supposed to do. And that's the same thing that's applicable to Frank Vogel right now. So I think the scrutiny is fair, Swagoo.
The scrutiny is fair, but look, man, I cannot put this on Frank Vogel. And I understand. He's a defensive mind specialist. I talked to Big KP. I listened to you, Stephen A. I watched the game of basketball, love it. I know a lot of these guys and the points that you making. But let's not get it misconstrued, man. When this roster was put together, we all talked about how this was going to be player-driven. And we all talked about the guys that were actually on the floor. So, yeah, it's some blame to go to Frank Vogel. But it also is what Molly pointed out with LeBron missing 11 games, continuity. We talked about you and Legs was on here early before the season started, at the beginning of the season, continuity on the offensive end. Defense in basketball is really communication and effort. That's what defense is. Like, we can talk about all of the plans and the scheme and how you play the pick and roll and all of these things. It's effort and communication is usually directly tied to the best defensive units in basketball. And that's not just to the NBA. That's college, that's Pee Wee, that's Nike Tour, that's Adidas, all of that. It's communication and effort. And when I look at the Lakers play defense, they don't have the type of attention to detail that it's going to take. You know what I watched last night, Stephen A? I watched the pick and roll be run, and Williams jump over AD twice and dunk the ball. I saw that twice. Now, AD's 7 foot.
I actually saw it 3 times. Go ahead.
You saw it 3 times. AD's 7 foot.
Right.
He's athletic. It's effort, Stephen A. It is effort on that end of the court. So I get what you're saying about Frank Vogel. Nobody is disputing that. You're supposed to be what you are supposed to be. And we know him as a defensive specialist. But we can't. LeBron been in this league a long time. He understands how to play defense on a championship level. AD has been a part of a winning culture now in LA. He understands how to play defense. We talk about the bulldog tenacity of Russell Westbrook. You got Dwight Howard on the bench, who is a guy that's supposed to be a stopper under the paint. So they deserve the scrutiny, but it's to the players on the floor.
Well,
just like you would talk about in football or any other sport. These two dudes have too much experience, regardless of who their coach is, to be 29th on defense in the NBA.
I agree with that, and I'm not absolving the players. I'm saying at the end of the day, let's just get down to brass tacks. Somebody's head is going to roll.
I got you on that.
Because let me tell you something. LeBron turns 37 December 30th. All right? Russell Westbrook is already 32, 33 years of age. Anthony Davis is 28. Yeah. Melo is 37.
Oldest team in the league.
There's a window here. They're the oldest team in the league. Let me tell you something, man. You can't stand pat. You can't be patient if you're the Los Angeles Lakers. You know why else you can't do that? Because of the teams that's waiting, that's lying in wait. Golden State ain't getting worse. Utah ain't getting worse. The Clippers are not getting worse. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.